Hey, fellow collectors, today we will be talking about the Iron Man Retro Wave. Now, these come with Iron Man Model 9, 20, the 1 Gold model, Marvel's Whiplash, and Count Nafaria, with also the She-Hulk. Now, I've already reviewed the She-Hulk because I wasn't into doing waves. I was going to do the individuals, but you know what? Times have changed. And so have I. So first we'll look at the She-Hulk. We already have reviewed this very nice figure. Now I put her on my Hulk shelf. I really didn't want to put her on my Iron Man shelf, but she did show up in the cartoon from time to time. But I like her with the Fantastic Four or the Avengers. So here we have Iron Man and a couple of foes. First we'll take a look at the Model 9. We see very nice retro style from the 90s, these big old feet. And we can see we got some hands with some effects. And we also have this Model 9, which is very cool. And we also have the UPC code. Now the Model 20 is shaped after the Hero's Return. It was a very good Run 12 comic books line where the heroes went into an alternate universe and came up with this nice looking armor. Now here is the little information about it, and we have the UPC. This is very cool that they came with these bio cards on the back. Now we look at this great looking gold version. We have the Model 0 and the Model 1 here, back from the 60s. And we see here we got the head, the hands, and a couple of repulsor blast. And we also have the little bio card here. Next we have a Whiplash. Whiplash has a black leotard on with a purse. It's a European carry-all. And he got a little bit of green here and his whip. Very cool. And on the back we can see he has extra hands, the whip, and we have his little bio. Very cool. Now these figures have been going on sale lately, so that's why you should pick them up if you don't have them and you want them. And last but not least, Count Nafaria. We got a couple of extra hands here. On the back we can see we use the hands and his bio card. So let's get them on the scale and see how much they weigh. Count Nafaria is 9.2 ounces. Whiplash is 8.8. Gold Iron Man is 9.6. Iron Man Model 20 is 8 ounces. And Model 9 comes out to 8.8. So let's get them out of the box and see how cool they are.
Hey, open, damn it. Open!
Okay, now that we have them out of their packaging, we see that Count Nafaria has a cape that is simply put on him through a peg on the back. He does come with 2 extra hands held in by tape. Simply do that and you can pop him out and take a look. Very nice looking figure. Has that extra bit of articulation in the back for the shoulders to give a nice range of motion. Does a nice T-pose, bicep swivel, double bend in the elbows, rest on a peg hinge, head that really looks up and down, right and left. Has a hinge here for the upper body, spins at the waist. Can do this much of a split, forward and back, thigh rotation, double bend in the knee, boot swivel, ankle on a peg hinge, forward and back, side to side. Now, like I say, he does come with 2 extra hands, and he comes with the cape that you just simply place in the hole here, and then give him that look like that cord is attached to that. So a very nice looking figure. I don't know if I will be giving him the hands or not. we'll see later down the line. And I get him on the shelf. More of a menacing pose, maybe. Now, a Whiplash is next. And he bounces all over the place. Now, Whiplash's cape is attached to him. So whenever you pull him out of the packaging, we can just take very care not to get his European carryall or his cape here. Out. And then take his accessories by the tape. And pull that out. Now the whip is just simply plastic. Doesn't really bend or shape like that, so it is just stuck like this. Goes back into shape. He includes this bit of hair that attaches to the top of his head. Do like so. And he comes with these extra hands. Now his purse here is already strapped around him, and his cape can come off, but you got to really remove the figure's head and all of this other stuff to get it out. But he wouldn't look like the Whiplash from the comic books and the cartoon. Now his head can really go up a little bit, down, right and left, no problem. His ponytail can swoop around. He has an okay T-pose. That cape does get in the way of it, and also forward and back. He has a bend at the bicep, double bend in the elbow, wrist on peg hinge. He has the torso crunch, forward and back, swivel at the waist. This much of a split. Forward, good kick, not so much back. Thigh rotation, double bend in the knee, boot on a swivel, and ankle that goes forward and back, side to side on that peg hinge. Very cool looking Whiplash, and you will need to switch his hand to make him hold the actual Whiplash. Just take that and then take it in there, and we see he's got his energy Whiplash. Very nice. Very cool. Now we'll take the golden Iron Man here. Take these hands out. And we'll just simply put the tape back there. His repulsor rays and his head. These black smoke. And then we'll take out this Iron Man. Very cool looking Iron Man. Good T-pose, swings around his head, moves from side to side, up and down just a little bit. Definitely see those eyes in there. Very cool. Now he has a bicep, swivel, double bend in the elbow, wrist on peg hinge. However, this double bend, you really have to really work with it if you want to get more than just that, or just get the first part, because it will just bend so far. So you get that. Then on here we have the peg hinge at the waist, so you get swivel there, forward and back. You can do a pretty good split, forward and back. Thigh rotation, double bend in the knee as well. Boot on that peg hinge, and the boot hollow with 2 peg holes. Now his knee is cool because it's got this separate piece in here. You see, you can hide it mostly, but then comes out, gets a little bit more detail. Always nice to have that. And he has this little antenna here. So yeah, so if you want to put on his repulsor rays, you notice right here, they really don't take the repulsors beams. You have this smoke though. What you can do is just wrap it around the hands, and then take these repulsor beams and place him in there and make it look like he's firing. Yeah, I think that's kind of weak the way they did this, but hey, you know. I don't agree with the way they did it, but that's the way they did it. Now the head, we get the Tony Stark head, and this looks exactly like the 20th anniversary Tony Stark head that we got. So you can just take it and put it on there, or any of the other Iron Men. That is up to you if you want to use this head. Put the gold Iron Man there with all his accessories. Then we'll move on to Iron Man 20. Now see what we have 4 repulsor rays and 2 hands. Now this was, like I said, part of the Heroes Reborn line. A very cool looking Iron Man armor. Very nice. It's got that back here. The gold and red with the diamond shaped chest piece. Very cool. Now his head, go back and really look up, down, right and left, no problems. Now his hands, or his arms come out to this much of a T pose. He has a bicep swivel, double bend in the elbow, wrist on that peg hinge. You'll see this one is already set for a repulsor beam. Now he does have waist swivel and does have a ball jointed upper torso. You can spin on that and go back and forth just a little bit. These blades here will block you from doing much back, but forward he can do a little bit. So for a split, he does a pretty good split. Pretty good forward kick, thigh rotation, double bend in the knee, ankle on a ball jointed peg hinge. There's that little bit here for the ankle guard. It's locked in. Boot is hollow with a peg hole. So if you want to put his repulsor beams, they just simply peg in, and you can do that. So the only other issue that I have with this design is this right here. This piece blocks him from lifting up his hand, so he'll have to do a underhanded blast, or you can have these on his feetsies for his jets. That is up to you. Yeah, I think that was very bad design there, because you can't really get much going for a repulsor beam on that hand. It would have been better if they would have had something for the chest. That would have been nice. Just move these here. And look at the last figure that I'll have out of the box is the Iron Man 9. He also has these repulsor beams. A little different than any of the other ones, except for the gold, which is orange. And it has a little bit of a different blast effect. So at least all the figures have their own unique blast. Now his also comes with its blue smoke, like an energy trail or something like that. And it comes with these hands that are already designed for the repulsor beams to be used up front. Get him out. All we do is do this front. Y'all. All right, now we have them all out. Now, yeah, he's got these big old boots here that was in a design for rebirth of the character. Still the same red and yellow that I loved growing up with as a child. So he can look at really good. And down, right and left. The blue here with the little bubbles there for the chest piece. Now, as far as his pieces here, these lift up so you get a nice T-pose. Bicep swivel, double bend in the elbow, wrist on that peg hinge. Now his torso can go back a little bit forward, spin at the waist. Very good split. Pretty good forward kick. Thigh rotation. Double bend in the knee. Boot swivel with a peg hinge that goes forward, back a little bit side to side there. With big old piece and a hole for the stand or for these blast effects. That is up to you. If you've got a stand, you want to use it, there you go. So there we have the full wave. And if I bring in the measure, we'll see that Nafaria is coming in at 6 5/8. Whiplash at the top of that is 7 inches. Gold Iron Man is 6 3/4. 6 3/4, 420. And we have 6 3/4, 4'9", and Jennifer Walters is coming in at 7.5 inches tall. Wow, what a wave for your Iron Man collection. So let's see how they would look on the shelf with some of the other figures. Okay, now that we have them on there, we'll see they fit on a shelf pretty good with the other Iron Men from the comic book lines. Definitely nice. Now She-Hulk is down here with the other Hulks, and she fits in just as well. So remember, as always, to like, subscribe, and